I've already checked that the car has fuel, a little bit. It's got oil, and what we want to see is if it starts. So, let's cross our fingers. Hey boys and girls, I'm sitting here with every car enthusiast's second most favorite car to hate. I think the first would be the BMW i8 probably. But number two is the Maserati Ghibli. You probably know this car best from Doug DeMuro roasting it, just absolutely roasting it in 2014 or one of those early model years. And most of what Doug said about the car was unfortunately true. The interior was kind of lackluster. Infotainment was from a very old Chrysler system. It was the old version of Uconnect, and it was terrible. It was really, really bad. A couple of the other complaints he had was that the car didn't have any of the modern safety features. So no lane departure assist, no lane keep assist, radar cruise control, anything like that it didn't have. And this was trying to compete with cars like the BMW 5 Series, which at the time had all of that stuff. Now, I had a 2014 Ghibli SQ4. I liked the car. It wasn't great. It was good. The chassis was really good. The engine is magnificent. I love the engine, especially when you open up the exhaust. You have butterflies in the exhaust, and you can open those up so that they're open all the time. Thing sounds like a monster. You do not need to put an exhaust on this car. Sounds good, decently fast. It was a little soft. It wasn't exactly a canyon carver, but it was a good family sedan. And it was a good car. My two major gripes with it were, I didn't really feel like the all-wheel drive added anything. I had a Q4 or an SQ4 at the time, and that was the only way you could get the bigger engine or the better engine in it. Also, the infotainment system, as Doug pointed out in his video, was wretched. I don't even know how to quantify it. It was really, really bad. It was bad. So it really made the car unlivable for me. I found myself dreading driving it, and I would typically take something else instead of the Ghibli. So why then would I pick a Maserati Ghibli as my first auction car to buy and attempt to fix? Mostly because this car fixes my two biggest issues. One, it's rear-wheel drive. 2017, they came out with a rear-wheel drive version of the car. That is the S, and this lets you get the more powerful engine and the performance setup in a rear-wheel drive configuration. So that there is huge for me. The second, and you can't see this, but I'll show you later, is the infotainment system in the car is new for 2017, adds CarPlay, and it's just completely different, a ton better. It makes the car a lot more livable. Okay, so now let's look at what I thought I was getting versus what I got. So first of all, what I thought I was getting was a runs and drives. Now, I had a few rules with auctions on Copart because I've heard really, really bad stories about people buying cars on Copart where they were just either completely misrepresented or they had been at auctions several times and people had already pulled parts off them. So I had a rule. Cars that I was thinking of buying, only the driver's side airbag could be deployed. Anything else, I'm not going to touch it. I don't want to sew up seats. I don't want to replace the roof. I don't want to do any of that. So, driver's airbag only. This car, I'm lucky, no airbags deployed. So, yay. That's a good thing. In terms of up here, the damage I thought I was getting mostly aesthetic. This piece is probably the extent of the major issues I thought I was going to have. I knew I was going to have to replace this upper radiator support. I knew the bumper cover, fender, hood. I knew all this was coming out. When the car got here, what I got was a non-running and driving car. It does not start. It's completely dead. We hooked up power to it. Doesn't make any sounds, no relays, no nothing. I hear nothing when you put power to this car. So that's a tiny bit concerning. I don't like that. So the issue with that is our keys are wrapped around, zip tied to the steering column. So, and it's a remote keyless entry key. So what I think happened is they zip tied it to the steering column, they closed the car, put the windows up, and because the key is so close in proximity to the car, it's constantly pinging the car. I think that the battery and the key died. I'm crossing my fingers that the battery and the key died. Here's the problem. Jumping it from here does nothing. I need to get inside to get the key, but I can't do that because the car's locked. So I've got a couple things I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to open this door so I can get inside to get to the key, put a battery in the key, see if that hopefully takes care of my problem. If that doesn't take care of my problem, then I need to get all these doors open, go back here, access the battery, and check the fusible links. Sometimes those pop after an accident, and that could be my issue too. However, if that was the case, this would not have been a run and drive when it got to auction. So that's a little scary for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can break myself into this car, and through the magic of editing, when you hear me next, we're gonna see what happened. Well, it's a couple hours later, and I've learned a few things about myself. Namely, I'm not good at breaking into cars, but I did manage to get it. Destroyed some of my tint here, but who cares? More importantly, car is alive, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off this key fob. Wow, really on there. Okay. So, I've already checked that the car has fuel, a little bit. It's got oil, and what we want to see is if it starts. So, let's cross our fingers. Woo! Right up. Not even a check engine light. It does have that intercooler hanging off the front, but there's no way the car could really know that that's the case. At worst, it's just taking in some unmetered air, and it looks like you can tell that by the idle hunting there. But this bad boy is alive, and yeah, this is I think this is a solid ending for this video. We got a running car. All I needed was a running car. That's the only thing I needed. Anything else, I'm pretty sure I can get by. Thanks.